Let me just sharpen my pencil. So we have two more poses to talk about. This one, as you can see, she's a bit tall, so we have to rethink the proportions. Here I would go for the main gesture, which is a stretch outwards. But with any of those arms up poses, and especially when the model is already tall, I have to really consider the top, because very often, well, we during live drawing, we will have a problem on top of the paper on the bottom. So people have tendency to overestimate how much space they have. They start with the head, they start with the shoulder, and then, oh my god, my hands are popping out, my feet are popping out. So I will be conservative with my gesture line and do something like this. This. And I'm hoping for the best, that everything will fit. Because let's see. No, I will run out of paper again. Or not. Okay, I'm very close from the end of the paper, but I think I'll manage. Let's just do it. Remember, gesture of the leg. Two things about it. First of all, if one side is usually a bit flatter, that means the other one has more curve. And second, they need to fold into each other. So you see, this one is under this one. Things connect. It's not Legos where everything is like one brick, one brick, one brick. It's more like a, I don't know, I don't have an example of which game would be like more like this connection. But that's definitely what's happening. Okay, I went way too far with this leg. I think I'm getting tired physically. But let's move on. Okay. We have the front. So we have one knee. The second knee is kind of aligned with the head. Yes. So I feel that I exaggerated a little bit the pose. It's okay to exaggerate. It's really not a problem. If we want to be exact with everything, we can just take a photo or measure. Drawing is more about observation and about, I would say, psychological. What me, the artist, observed about a certain situation. In this case, well, a person in space in front of me. No, it's getting messy. Ah, much better. So we have our stretch, we have our pinch, so here we have element folding. That's pretty cool. knees are a bit in the shades, but they're definitely here. Yes, there we go. Sorry for the junky beginning. Like I said, I think waking up at 6 in the morning every morning and then streaming at midnight, almost midnight, is a bit of a stretch, but I enjoy doing it. There we go. Now we have a situation with a fairly unified light, which means once I just want to make sure I have my head in the right place. There's a bit more hair going on. Notice that the hair, I do not do strand by strand. I still see sometimes people doing strand by strand. For now, I'm not even doing block, I'm doing a shape. I can go later strand, I mean not strand by hand, but separating some form. For example, here gets a little bit more subtle than that. But for now I'm doing blocks. Maybe adding a bit more here. We need shoulders and we need an arm. So, how was my gesture around this arm? It's getting hard to see the elbow, but I believe the elbow is here. And then the arm is folding. Okay, so actually we don't have to get out of the paper. This one and then this one. Yes, we are really just touching the paper. Oh, good. Now in the front, we'll have the chest. Indication of rib cage and belly. And now, thanks to my very simple light setup, I can cut across my figure, just paying attention to the different bumps coming in. Don't forget the knee, you get a very clean cut basically. And calves. And then our trusty heel that also gets a cut. And what happens here? Well, shadow going not the most defined shadow here. Now with the hair it's interesting because I had only a shape, but through the shadow shape I can start getting a sense of the shadow that goes across. And I can go back, for example, for this one and build my shadow shape along those edges. It makes this polarized effect where we know where one edge is and the other side of the edge is but it doesn't mean that both edges are light. The shadow is not necessarily dark, but they are separate from the lights, nonetheless. There's funny lights going through. Okay, I need my occlusion here. All of this is in the shadow, save for a little bit of the sheen here. There we go. Sorry for the, the beginning went a bit off. This one is worth lighting because we don't have a lot of nuance here in the light area, but I can bring it with my white pencil. So where's the brightest light? If we start squinting, it's actually here in the armpit. Does it mean I want it here? Maybe I would like to have it in the chin, under the face. Because we have, it's very subtle on the photo, but we have nice light under the chin and a subtle indication of the face. So I want to make sure this one is in at least. We'll get to the rest. The elbow is doing some funny thing. Now when I'm going to put highlights on the hair, I am going to be a bit more careful with getting some detail at the same time. Not too many. And again, details do not live in a separate plane of existence. Detail just means something is a bit smaller on the image. And they are still on top of something, and they are still indicating either that there's light or there's shadow or there's a form. So yes, here you can say that I'm getting into the details of the hair, but I'm still respecting my forms that I made earlier. And I will only do that around the highlights. Maybe I can get those one in. They're very nice. A little transparent lights coming through. Okay, so if the armpits were the brightest spot, well then just so be it. We had the breast, there's the bra. I'm kind of just integrating it in the form. And so here, because the body is a bit softer, I will use just softer edges. If you compare to the previous, one of the previous model with very, very tense muscle and skin. So here this brings something that we can contrast, especially with the hair. In the hair, yeah, we can get a bit harder edges. There we go. And again, I go a little bit softer and softer as I go down. Even though the feet are in the light, I tend to just vaguely indicate it because this is not the focus. I like that this foot is just ever so slightly in the light. Just brings it back to the same plane. Okay, what do we think? This one alright? No, it's not alright. I'm missing a few shadows on the arms. So let me just complete this arm. Here, here. And all of this was in the, definitely in the shadow. I would like to have a thumb here. I don't have indication of the thumb. This looks a bit unresolved, so there's a thumb actually here. There we go. And there's the beginning of the ulna and the top of the fingers. But again, this might be a bit my photo's fault, because it's not very clear what's going on here. And so I can just live with that. Okay,